Hey folks, Nicholas Field here, and today I'm going to talk to you about the charging case that I built for production sound. Shout out to juniverse.com who used my Google Forms to make a request to cover this topic. Always down to do requests for folks who are interested in different parts of the production sound workflow and curious about how I'm tackling things, or just wanting, some insight from somebody else in the industry. So without further ado, this is the case. It's a built around a Pelican 1500 case that I had kind of lying around. I wasn't really doing a lot with it, and I wanted to repurpose it into something useful. So let's take a peek what's inside. Essentially I just wanted to make the process of charging gear a bit more seamless. It's particularly useful for travel gigs because I can just chuck this Pelican case into my car and I'm sorted for charging basically anywhere that I go. And one thing that I wanted to implement in this build was redundancy. So every charger has a backup option in case anything is to break. I'm covered. I don't have to go running out to the store trying to find a replacement last minute. So I've got two 8-bay AA chargers. I believe they're both by Maha. Then I have two iPower US 9-volt chargers. And I have two audio root chargers. And this one is just like the little travel charger that I Velcroed on here. And then this is their 2-bay desktop charger. And this one's pretty cool because it displays like the telemetry information on the side. Over here, just some USB-C plugins for Tentacle sync boxes. And basically, like, this is not a unique idea. Almost every sound mixer I know has some sort of iteration on a charging case in their setup because once you start to do any amount of traveling, it becomes a huge pain in the ass to just carry single chargers around and throwing them in a bag and plugging them in everywhere. So I've seen like lots of these builds with varying levels of complexity. I had some downtime last year, so I just wanted to try to make it like as seamless of a process as possible for me because I like to nerd out on this stuff. So essentially what happened was I was on a walk and I saw a bundle of these little slabs of wood. And I thought, oh, these are really thin slabs of wood that might be useful for this charging case that I've been thinking up. So I just grabbed them and took them home. And the cool thing was that they were curved on the edges, like over here, and the contours match the Pelican case perfectly. I'm not like a woodworker person. Like I'm not a super handy person by any means. So I just ordered a little like rip saw from Lee Valley Tools. It's like a Japanese rip saw. And I measured the length of these wooden slats and just sawed them by hand on my patio. And like one thing that's worth noting is that, Pelican cases, they all have these they're almost like supports around every 2 inches and they don't stick out very much, but they're certainly like enough to support a platform if you have it basically like to spec. So you have to be careful with how you're measuring everything and making sure that it's quite accurate. But essentially this little support is being held up by these tiny protrusions on the side of the case. And then underneath you can see that's all the cables and the wall warts and stuff. And I have like basically just a power bar here with everything plugged in and everything's Velcroed down. So it's not rattling around too much in the case. Yeah, as you can see, it's not always easy, but once it's set, it's pretty solid. Like it's not going anywhere. So the cool thing about this build is I think on the side of the case here, there's a weather sealed AC port. Okay. This was probably like the cheapest part of the build. I think it was like $20, maybe like definitely under $30 on Amazon. I'll put a link to it below. And it's a little port that you can just drill a hole into the side of whatever it is that you want to add power to. And then it has like a 6-inch extension on the other side. It comes with like a gasket that goes underneath. It's a rubber gasket here and then 4 screws. So I just drilled a hole on the side and plopped it in there. And I put a little bit of sealant as well to try to keep it more weatherproof. And it's been working great. So I'll plug it in for y'all. So that's on. I'll open it up. And as you can see, I also stopped by IKEA and got these little lights. I think they were like $2 and they just turn on and off. And I think I Velcroed them up into the corners here and just wired them behind the foam. And the foam basically just helps keep everything in place and keep everything solid. So that's my production sound charging case. Hopefully this video is illuminating for anybody else out there who's trying to build their own charging case. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. And if you have built your own charging case, I'd love to hear a little bit about your approach. I'm certain there are ways to improve on this design that I came up with. So yeah, it's always good to hear from y'all, and thank you so much for the support. Please like and subscribe to this channel if you dig these types of videos. It goes a long way in supporting what I do. Peace.